Imagine walking through the streets of Santiago, Chile, only to find the lights flicker and everything goes dark. The largest blackout in over a decade takes hold, leaving millions without power. What happened, and how is the country reacting to the chaos? Stay with us as we break down the massive outage that shook Chile. On Tuesday, a devastating power outage swept across Chile, leaving millions without electricity. This widespread blackout, which impacted 14 out of 16 regions, including the capital city of Santiago, was caused by a failure in a key 500 kilovolt transmission line in the Norchico region. The disruption, which lasted several hours, had a major impact on public services and businesses alike. Public transport came to a halt as traffic lights went out, causing major gridlocks, while the mining sector, a cornerstone of Chile's economy, was also affected. Several important sites experienced power losses, and the country faced serious operational challenges. Chile's Interior Minister Carolina Toja swiftly ruled out cyber attacks as the cause, confirming that the blackout was likely due to a technical failure in the country's electrical grid. Despite this, authorities worked around the clock to restore power and manage the emergency. In response to the emergency, the government declared a state of emergency across much of the country, including the capital Santiago, and imposed a curfew from 1:00 p.m. to 6:00 a.m. President Gabriel Boric's administration emphasized this measure to ensure public safety, anticipating that the outage could extend into the night. The outage was unprecedented, affecting a large portion of Chile's population, with over 90% of the country's 20 million residents impacted, from the northern region of Arica to the southern area of Los Lagos. Thousands of people found themselves stranded as metro services were halted and buses became overcrowded, leading to chaotic scenes throughout the capital. While people scrambled to find their way home, the local government deployed emergency response teams to manage evacuations from public transport stations. Traffic lights remained out of service, making commuting a nightmare for many. Local businesses, including banks, were forced to stop operations, leaving workers and customers frustrated. While no major incidents were reported, a dramatic rescue operation took place when firefighters saved an elderly woman who had been trapped in an elevator. The hospital and prison systems relied on backup generators to keep their operations running during the crisis. The outage hit at a particularly challenging time, during the busy summer months when much of the population relies on public services and businesses operate at full capacity. The consequences were immediately felt. Public transportation systems, including the metro, came to a halt, and people were forced to evacuate from trains and buses. With traffic lights down across the city, Santiago's streets were gridlocked, leaving commuters stranded for hours. The country's backbone industry, mining, was also heavily impacted. Several major mining sites experienced power losses, causing disruptions to operations that could have long-term economic effects. Meanwhile, businesses across the country, including banks, had to suspend operations, leaving many workers frustrated as they couldn't complete their tasks or even get home easily. Chile's Interior Minister, Carolina Toja, quickly addressed the situation, ruling out the possibility of cyber attacks. She confirmed that the cause of the outage was most likely a failure within the power grid system itself. To prevent any further escalation, the government declared a state of emergency across much of the country, including Santiago, and imposed a curfew from 1:00 p.m. to 6:00 a.m. to ensure public safety. Emergency services worked around the clock to restore power and provide assistance where needed. Traffic jams were unavoidable due to the lack of functioning traffic lights, and many people had to walk for hours under the intense heat to reach their homes. In some parts of the capital, people were seen trapped in amusement park rides or elevators, requiring rescue teams to intervene quickly. Chile, which has one of the most reliable power networks in South America, had not faced a blackout of this scale in over 15 years. The last major outage occurred in 2010, following an earthquake that devastated the country. Despite this, the current outage remains one of the most significant disruptions to daily life in recent memory. If you found this story insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe to NextGen Financial Future for more updates on major global events and their economic impacts. Stay tuned for our next video.